myself, I grew up Christian my whole life. There wasn't a day I didn't know God, and I always loved him. I grew up in a Christian home. We went to a Presbyterian church. But I wasn't surrendered for a very long time in my life. I always loved God, but I had one foot in the world. I knew that surrendering was right, but I don't know, I wasn't moved to. When I moved to LA in 2013, it was like a hunger arose in me as soon as I got here. I moved from upstate New York. And I started visiting different churches where I found people who were more passionate about God. So it made this fire in me grow more and more and more. Still hadn't surrendered, but I wanted to. But it was like something was holding me back from surrendering. That hunger that grew in me one day led me to accept an invitation to a tiny little house church. So different from anything that I've been to before. And there was a prophet leading the service. I didn't even know that prophets existed to this day, at this point. But I went with an open heart. And I went, and there I encountered the power of God for the first time. The miracles that we see Jesus do, the miracles that we see done in the book of Acts through the apostles and other fivefold ministries, I witnessed it before my eyes. I saw the power of God moving. I saw people being healed. I saw demons be cast out. And then I received prophetic ministry for the first time, where this vessel of God spoke to me from words from God, present words of God, touching my heart, easing worries that I had in my heart from that day that I hadn't told anybody. That day changed my life forever. That day is when I met Jesus, the true Jesus who comes in power. That day I had this encounter with Jesus, the living God, for the first time. I went that day from believing in God, that he exists, that he's real, that he loves me, to knowing he is real, he is with me always, he is good, that his word is true, that his plans for me are good. I knew it with all of my heart now. A month later, I received the baptism of the Holy Spirit. I experienced God touching me. Like what so many people said in this video, they received chills all over their body, or they're shaking. I experienced that for the first time on that day, where I was truly feeling the Holy Spirit. Tangibly encountering me, God was. And on that day, it was like encountering the power of God opened up my eyes. This is who Jesus is. This is the Jesus who wants to touch you, who wants to heal you, who wants to deliver you, who has the power to do it, who wants to do it, and who will do it. The combination of this touch from God, where he was so real to me now, and witnessing others weeping as God's rescuing them, as God's touching them. It opened up my eyes like never before. This is Jesus. This is Jesus. This is how amazing this Jesus is. It's like I could see him for the first time. And I felt so convicted. I have to surrender to him now. It wasn't a hard choice. It was like, how could I not surrender to him? He is so almighty, and I'm so little. Who am I? Who am I to not give my life to him? My heart was burning. And so I surrendered to him right then and there. I surrendered completely. I said, you can do with my life whatever. And though I had been a Christian my whole life, though I had gone to church like 2 to 3 times per week, like my whole life, it wasn't the end of a sermon altar call, which I heard so many times, that led me to give my whole life to Jesus. But it was Jesus himself encountering me in power and me deciding in my own heart, my own decision, oh, Jesus, I give my life to you.